We tend to view Earth's frozen regions as permanent, unyielding vaults that lock ancient history away in time. In 1999, researchers climbing an Argentine stratovolcano discovered three Inca children who had been left near the summit 500 years ago. The high-altitude freeze and bone-dry air halted the biological process of decay. The preservation was so effective that their internal organs and frozen blood remained intact for half a millennium. This level of survival creates a powerful impression. It frames the ice as a safe, eternal resting place for the past. This pattern of preservation is truly global. High in Norway's Diggervarden ice patch, archaeologists recently pulled a wooden ski out of the snow that dates back 1,300 years. The ice protected the delicate, twisted birch binding so well that the artifact looks as though it was dropped in the snow yesterday. Ernest Shackleton's crushed expedition ship, the Endurance, survived a century trapped in the jagged pack ice of the Weddell Sea. In the Siberian permafrost, researchers found Yucca, a 39,000-year-old woolly mammoth with hair and soft tissue still clinging to its body. Even in the Alps, the remains of World War I soldiers are now emerging from melting glaciers, their uniforms still recognizable. These breathtaking relics frame the ice as a stable, unmoving archive. But that stability is a dangerous illusion. Ice is actually a viscoelastic material. Under its own massive weight, solid ice slowly warps, creeps, and spreads outward, like a heavy, slow-moving river. In 1959, the U.S. military applied these physics to Project Iceworm, a plan to carve a nuclear base called Camp Century into the Greenland ice sheet. Engineers bored massive trenches and installed a working nuclear reactor deep inside the glacier. The design treated the ice sheet as a permanent, immovable shield for a subterranean network 3 times the size of Denmark. Within just 3 years, the glacier's relentless outward spread began to crush the tunnels and warp the steel support beams. The military was forced to abandon the base entirely. Because of the assumption that the ice would stay frozen, the military left behind massive stores of toxic waste. By the year 2100, as the Greenland ice sheet melts, PCBs and radioactive material from Camp Century will likely bleed into the surrounding ecosystem. This assumption of glacial stability ended with the destruction of the base and the creation of a toxic threat that is now thawing out. While chemical waste marks our recent history, the cryosphere also contains deep, ancient biology. At Antarctica's Taylor Glacier, a subglacial pool isolated for 1 million years periodically spills onto the ice as blood falls. This blood-red water harbors an extreme ecosystem of microbes. Locked in darkness without oxygen, these bacteria survive by respiring with iron scraped from the bedrock. Outside Fairbanks, Alaska, researchers at the Permafrost Tunnel extracted microbes that had been trapped in the frozen earth for 40,000 years. When these samples were brought into the lab and warmed, the microbes reanimated. They formed active colonies and immediately began feeding. Earth's cryosphere isn't just preserving artifacts. It is a holding cell for living biology in a state of suspended animation. Biological reanimation becomes a direct threat when the ice melts naturally. In 2016, a severe heat wave rolled across Siberia, thawing a 75-year-old reindeer carcass from the permafrost. That carcass was infected with anthrax. As the remains warmed, the bacteria woke from its dormancy and spread through the local herds. The resulting outbreak killed thousands of reindeer and hospitalized dozens of people, reintroducing a disease that had been considered frozen away. This risk extends globally. Scientists are currently extracting dozens of ancient, never-before-seen viruses from melting glaciers in Tibet. Melting ice is effectively opening a biological Pandora's box, exposing modern ecosystems to pathogens they haven't faced in millennia. But the waking microbes in the Alaskan permafrost trigger a threat even larger than ancient viruses, a global climate feedback loop. As these trillions of ancient microbes thaw, they immediately begin breaking down the ancient organic matter surrounding them. The dangerous byproduct of this feeding process is a massive release of carbon dioxide and methane directly into the atmosphere. This creates a terrifying loop. The new greenhouse gases cause more warming, which means more permafrost, waking even more microbes. We must stop looking at Earth's cryosphere as a passive, harmless archive of history. It is a volatile, active force that, as it melts, will aggressively dictate our future.